I did make a video about a month ago. It's been getting more at the top, more responses. It's been a little bit hot and I'm fine with that. I'm gonna go through some of the things that have happened since then as far as responses go, whether that be from people in general or if that's from Family First Life. Anyways, we're just gonna break down a few of the things that I've done since then that kind of go a little bit deeper on taking action. Some people have said that I am promoting other people or entities and pushing motives, or even being a promoter for Family First Life, or that I'm just reading scripts. But that was a lot of information. It was everything that had happened to me up until this point. So about 2.5 years of documentation, research, more recently with what's going on, keeping up with the legalities, the newest and the latest of what's going on with the company or how it's affecting people still to this day. But that was a lot of information. So you have to understand, I used an app to help me get everything lined up. There was a lot to say. It was 11 minutes after my edit, and before that it was almost 20. Just want to put that out there that I'm a whistleblower on my own time. I am doing this literally at the top of my head from my own action, but I know that my voice, in my opinion, speaks for so many others that maybe don't have the time or don't have the ability or the resources to go after them like I am. We're gonna jump into it. This is the first thing that I did in the last 4 to 6 weeks was file a claim with the Department of Financial Innovation of California. I had a response, even though they had mentioned that it was out of their jurisdiction. That was just a move that I personally did. I'm just letting you guys know this is steps that you can also take. For me, this is what I did basically step by step. That was the first thing. The second thing was I filed a claim with the California Department of Insurance. I do have a claim number now that's on file, even though they also have said that it is not something that they can do because this is such a blown up situation. This is across the whole nation. I believe as far as like what they can do, the one thing I want to add is that everybody needs to realize the more that you come forward, the more people that come forward like me and get their voice heard, the better off they have a foot in the door for their investigation. I'm trying to put that out there. It's what I've found over 4 different entities that I've filed a claim with to get the situation attention. It's been hard. It's a lot of energy. That's the one thing that kind of sets you back in your heels a little bit. It kind of sucks because you think you're going to put your energy into something and then you're going to get the response. You think like, oh, they're going to be all over this stuff. They're going to try to take them down. It's not as easy. The information is kept on file, which is great, but it's not going to be investigated like I thought maybe it would right off the bat. The third thing, I sent a letter, all documentation, all the stuff that I have so far, condensing it into more of the letter format, more formal, but also the most important details to my state attorney general, which is California. It's called a consumer complaint. The intent is to get a reach out. If you don't get to talk directly to him, you get to talk to his assistants who raise it to the higher level if it's something that they can actually help with. There's a lot of things that they can and cannot do as far as legalities go with helping people. They cannot give any legal advice. They cannot help you get the legal representation. That's what I've heard. These things can also be under the radar. It's confidentiality, so you never know. It's still good to do that because it raises the bar. It lets them know there is a company out there acting illegal, scamming people, and is fraudulent. We can get the numbers. We can get the people, for lack of a better term, the victims getting grouped up so that way they can investigate it more if they think, okay, we've hit a certain number of people. This is a matter that we should probably look into. That was the third thing I've done. I also filed an inquiry with the 2 state representatives of my district. Those 2 women of Latina ethnic background, I feel like very strong voices, very strong demeanors. They both are go-getters, they're young, and they drive. And that's the thing, is I want people that also are not just old school to be aware of this, because as I mentioned in my video, the main video that I made, that this is something that unfortunately people that are of minority background, that are uneducated, that are young. I know I was born in America, but I'm also just graduated college. I also don't have, in my opinion, the career that I want right now. I'm in my own slump. I don't have extra money. I'm struggling just like so many other people. These 2 women I feel like needed to know what's going on, whether I can get help or not from them, but they at least get to realize this is what's happening in your state. What can you do about it? This is just so far above the individual. All of us as one helps, but it has to be raised to be a state or government body that can actually move this company to the ground, push them down. They're not going to exceed too much longer. They're not expanding, but they are continuing. That's the issue, is to stop them from being able to basically carry on their organized crime. I won't mention their names, but those 2 women can be found. You can look it up on any website as far as who are your state reps, and you can file with them locally. And if you live in close proximity to their offices, you can also print out all the documents, have all your receipts, all of the things you've done. You want to keep all of that documentation, and you can bring it to them and let them know this is what's going on. This is the company and this is what they did to me. That's basically what I do. I walked in and dropped off my step-by-step 6 documents total. It's a pretty thick amount of paperwork. It's nice to be organized. So going on to number 5 now, I called an attorney that has a great reputation out of Los Angeles, and I was inquiring about this company, the fraud, the scamming, and looking to just get that consultation. As of right now, it's 3 major, highly reputable law firms that I've talked to. Since I have my things lined up and all my documentation and paperwork, it's nice that I can get organized in my head of what do you do step by step. And I'm doing this off of a wing. I'm doing this based off of like, how would I organize my approach here? Make it seem like it's going to be easier for an attorney to understand between my video, between my documentation. These are the things I've done. I've also tried to reach out to Family First Life directly, whether that be corporate, whether that be one of their attorneys, and say, hey, I have some questions. I was a former employee. What's going on? I have some questions. Can you please help me get those answered? It's your right. They're going to break you down. They're going to lie to you. They're going to gaslight you. They're going to manipulate you. They're going to tell you, oh, you guys can't ask those types of questions. That's what I was told my whole entire employment from Family First Life was, you guys need to stop asking questions to the general text messaging group or anything that involves a lot of people on those apps where you can basically get people, whether it's WhatsApp. The point is, ask questions. It's okay. Don't feel threatened by them. They're going to threaten you. They are going to maybe send you something like, which I will get into in a minute, what I got. I'm absolutely seeking legal counsel. The whole point of talking to the California State General, the whole point of filing these claims with the insurance board, with the DFPI, with my state reps, is to get the referral, because I don't have retainer money. I don't have a huge savings. I don't have money to blow on this, even though it is money spent wisely, in my opinion. Yes, if I had it, but everyone has to live. I don't have the ability to come up with this kind of money to get this going, even though this is very important to me, of course, to get resolved. I did try reaching out to them. I did try being amicable, and I did try reaching a resolution with Family First Life, and yet the game playing just continued. Whether it was game playing or no communication at all, they're not reasonable people, and they have everything to lose. They have everything to hide from, because don't forget, they don't have any documentation as far as the income disclosure statements. They don't have well-kept information on employees. They don't want to keep that stuff because it shows that what they project on their videos, and oh, this person made $40,000 last week, all that stuff is not true. When you sell this idea to people like a Hollywood movie set, it's not realistic. It's okay to come after them and get back what's yours, because so many people are going to just sit back and take it and not do anything. I'm not bending over for them. I'm not stopping from getting what my next thing is a cease and desist letter from Family First Life's attorney. It's all in all a 20-page cease and desist that basically is saying that it's illegal for me to go on YouTube. It's illegal for me to speak my story, to basically have freedom of speech. It's not illegal to do that. Whether it's section code this or that, or penal code, whatever, it doesn't matter. I'm not going to be threatened by going on YouTube or TikTok or any social media, because that's what everybody does now. That's the world we live in. That is how you get your voice heard. And as far as I'm concerned, getting that makes me feel like they've obviously seen me. They know that my video's up there. It might be at the top. It's getting a lot of views. It's getting a lot of uprise underneath it all. And that's fine, because there's nothing, what are they going to do? They're going to take me to court and see what I've done wrong. I've done nothing wrong. I'm just trying to get my voice heard. I can go in detail about that all day, but here's what you need to know about that. Their idea is that they'll just threaten you and send you so much stuff that it's overwhelming. I'll be honest, half the stuff they sent me, I don't even know. It's a lot of information. It's a lot of things. I'm not doing anything. I'm not maliciously slandering their company. If that was the case, based on what they told me I'm doing, I am wrongfully talking about their company. Everything I'm saying is untrue. It's not. Do the research. Why is there a class action against them? Why is there an attorney that's been appointed to class action? That would be what most of the people do, because it's just easier. I get it. So if you've lost 5 figures, you're going to get capped at 4 figures. There is a cap for that class action. He'll make a lot more money than the actual victims that lost so much or lost everything. Everyone's story is different. They have no remorse. They don't care at all. And they're actually, I think it's unwise to be sending people so many cease and desist letters, because to me, it makes them look guilty. And they are guilty. What are they going to do? They can't go to court and get subpoenaed and have to show all the documentation and prove that they are legit. No, they're just backed by really deep pockets, bigger entities, bigger public figures, people that can make it look like, oh, what we do is fine. And money does talk. We all know that. Money rules this shit. The point is that don't feel threatened. A couple more things to go over. I refiled an additional consumer complaint with my attorney general because I got some additional information that was really important. It involves a cease and desist, letting them know that that's what I got, and I'm waiting on a response. But you're able to basically, once you file that original one on your attorney state general's website, his assistants look over it, and then they have the add additional information tab. You can just add stuff into it. It may just have you make a new one, but they'll see that you just filed one a week or two ago. It will kind of just be connected together if you have any additional stuff that you need to add in there. The last thing is, which I haven't really been able to do because of the time change, but I'm also calling the Connecticut Department of Insurance and the Florida Department of Insurance, because that is where FFL operates. Their corporate location is in Connecticut, but a lot of these guys live in Florida. A lot of the entities that are wrapped around the whole company are in Florida. Operation wise, I would say that they do more physical work is done in those two states. Anyways, keep in mind though that it is nationwide. For right now, that is all I wanted to share with you guys. That's fine if you guys want to judge and say that I got wrapped up into something that I should have known better. But here's the thing. We live in America. This country is amazing and great, yet we have a lot of scammers. We have a lot of people that thrive and make it big off of other people's suffering. So I'm not trying to call myself a victim. I'm not feeling bad for myself, but I am being at the forefront of this. I am getting my voice heard. I am going to continue making videos until I get back what I've lost.